Be careful. The house you are staying in is not safe. Something dark lives inside those walls around you. After midnight, the walls wake up. They start to move and breathe like living things. The entities trapped inside them become active when darkness falls. You are in real danger right now. The supernatural forces in this house have been waiting for someone like you to arrive. This is not a coincidence that you ended up here. The house called to you for a reason. It needs what you have inside your soul. The spiritual guardians can see the dangers surrounding you. They have been trying to warn you since you first stepped through that door. Have you noticed strange things happening around you lately? Maybe you heard soft sounds coming from inside the walls at night. Perhaps you felt cold spots in certain rooms that made no sense. These are signs that the house is already testing you. It watches your every move and waits for the perfect moment to strike. The protective spirits around you are working hard to keep you safe. They sent this message to reach you before it's too late. You may have felt uneasy or anxious without knowing why. Your body senses the supernatural danger even when your mind doesn't understand it yet. When midnight comes, the walls begin to pulse with dark energy. The entities inside them grow stronger as the night gets deeper. These are not friendly spirits. They are hungry souls that have been trapped in this house for many years. They feed on fear and drain life energy from anyone who stays too long. The house has a history of taking people who spend the night alone. Some disappear completely. Others are found changed forever, their minds broken by what they experienced. The spiritual guardians see the dark forces gathering around you. They are preparing for something big to happen when the clock strikes 12. Your presence has awakened something that should have stayed sleeping. The entities in the walls are excited because they sense fresh energy they can consume. Time is running out to protect you. The supernatural activity grows stronger with each passing hour. The protective barrier around you needs to be strengthened before midnight arrives. Like this video right now to activate spiritual protection around you before the walls wake up. The spiritual guardians say this house has been hungry for decades. It was built on land where dark rituals once took place. The negative energy soaked deep into the foundation and walls. Every person who has lived here long enough has reported the same things. Voices whispering from inside walls. Shadows moving when no one cast them. Cold hands touching them while they slept. The entities are clever. They start small to test your fear. A soft scratching sound here. A door creaking there. They study how you react to each supernatural event. You were drawn to this house because your spiritual energy is exactly what they crave. Your soul has a brightness that attracts both good and evil forces. The dark entities have been planning since the moment you arrived. They know your routines, your fears, your weaknesses. They wait for you to be most vulnerable. But the protective spirits refuse to let you face this alone. They have surrounded this house with divine light to keep the darkest entities from reaching you. The battle between light and dark forces has already begun. You cannot see it, but the spiritual war rages all around you every second. The entities grow desperate as they feel the protective barriers strengthening. They know their time to act is limited. This makes them more dangerous than ever. Your guardian spirits work tirelessly to shield you. They pour their energy into keeping you safe from the supernatural threats lurking in every corner. Type shield now to strengthen the protective barrier. The guardian spirits have built around you. The spiritual guardians say the walls are already starting to stir. They can feel the entities inside them growing restless as evening approaches. You may have noticed the temperature dropping in certain rooms. These cold spots mark where the strongest supernatural activity happens. The entities drain heat from the air when they try to manifest. Strange sounds echo through the house at night, scratching inside walls like fingernails on wood. Whispers too quiet to understand, but loud enough to wake you. Footsteps in empty rooms above your head. The protective spirits work to block these manifestations. They create barriers of light to keep the dark entities trapped inside the walls where they belong. Your body already senses the supernatural presence around you. The hair on your arms stands up for no reason. You feel watched even when you're completely alone. The entities test the protective barrier constantly. They probe for weak spots where they might break through. They want to reach you before the guardian spirits can strengthen their defenses. Electrical devices act strange in this house. Lights flicker without cause. Electronics turn on and off. By themselves, the supernatural energy interferes with normal electricity. The spiritual guardians position themselves at every entrance to your room. They stand guard while you sleep, watching for any sign of supernatural breakthrough. The dark forces know they are running out of time. The protective light grows stronger every minute. This makes them more desperate and more willing to take dangerous risks. The unseen battle intensifies as both sides prepare for the midnight hour, when supernatural activity reaches its peak. If you want maximum protection from the supernatural forces in your house, you can give super thanks of $5, $10, $20, or more. Each offering strengthens the spiritual barrier around you and gives the guardian spirits more power to keep you safe. Type 777 now to call for divine intervention before the walls fully wake up at midnight. The spiritual guardians say the supernatural activity is building to dangerous levels. The entities inside the walls grow more aggressive as they sense the protective barrier around you. Midnight is their feeding time. This is when they have the most power to break through spiritual defenses. The darkness gives them strength while weakening the forces of light. You are not the first person to face this supernatural threat. Others have stayed in this house before you. Some escaped safely with spiritual protection. Others were not so lucky. The entities remember every person who has slept within these walls. They learn from each encounter, becoming smarter and more cunning with their attacks. The protective spirits can see the dark forces gathering their strength. They prepare for the final assault that will come when the clock strikes 12. Your spiritual energy acts like a beacon in the darkness. It calls to both good and evil forces from great distances. The entities have been drawn to your light since you arrived. The house itself seems to pulse with supernatural energy. The walls breathe slowly like a sleeping giant. The floors creak. Without anyone walking on them, the guardian spirits work to calm the restless entities. They pour peaceful energy into the walls, trying to keep the dark forces sleeping until dawn. But the entities resist the calming influence. They want to feed on fresh spiritual energy. They crave the fear and terror they can harvest from an unprotected soul. The final hours before midnight are the most dangerous. The supernatural activity reaches its peak as both sides prepare for the ultimate spiritual battle. Time is running out to secure your complete protection from the forces awakening in the darkness. Type 333 now to call upon the highest spiritual powers for divine intervention against the supernatural forces. The spiritual guardians say the entities in your walls have a dark history. This house was built over an old burial ground where terrible things happened long ago. The previous owners of this house all experienced the same supernatural terror. Some left within days, too frightened to stay. Others tried to fight the entities, but lost their minds in the process. The spiritual cleansing has already begun around you. Pure white light pours into every corner of the house. The guardian spirits work to push out the dark forces that have lived here for so long. You have become the key to breaking the supernatural curse on this house. Your spiritual energy is strong, enough to help the guardian spirits complete their holy work. The entities know their time is ending. They can feel the sacred light burning away their hiding places. This makes them more desperate and dangerous than ever before. The protective spirits have stationed themselves at every doorway and window. They create a shield of divine energy that grows stronger. With each passing moment, the dark forces try to feed on your fear before they are banished forever. They want to drain as much spiritual energy as possible before the cleansing is complete. But the guardian spirits refuse to let the entities reach you. They pour their power into keeping you safe while the supernatural battle rages invisibly. Around you, the house itself begins to change as the cleansing takes effect. The oppressive feeling starts to lift. The cold spots grow warmer. The shadows become less threatening. If you want to help complete the spiritual cleansing of your house, you can give super thanks of $5, $10, $20, or more. Each offering provides energy for the guardian spirits to permanently remove the dark entities and bless your home with lasting protection. Type 999 now to seal the spiritual cleansing and banish the dark entities from your house forever. The spiritual guardians say the final moment of cleansing has arrived. The entities make their last desperate attempt to maintain control over the house. The walls pulse with supernatural energy as the battle between light and darkness reaches its peak. The guardian spirits pour divine light into every crack and corner where evil might hide. You can feel the change happening around you. The heavy, oppressive feeling that has followed you through the house begins to lift like fog. In morning sunlight, the entities scream as the sacred light burns them. Their power weakens with each second. They lose their hold on the walls that have been their prison and their weapon. The protective spirits work together to create a permanent barrier. Round the house, no dark entity will ever be able to enter. This space again, once the cleansing is complete, the house transforms before your eyes. The shadows that seem to move become still. The cold spots warm up. The electrical problems stop happening. Peace descends over every room as the last of the dark forces are banished. The walls that once housed evil entities now pulse with gentle, protective energy. The guardian spirits have won the supernatural battle. They have reclaimed this house for the forces of light and goodness. You are now completely safe within these walls. The entities that once fed on fear and terror have been cast out forever. They cannot return to this place that has been blessed and protected by divine intervention. Your spiritual energy helped make this cleansing possible. You provided the light that the guardian spirits needed to complete their holy work. Type blessed now to seal the spiritual cleansing and ensure your house remains protected. By divine light for all time. The spiritual guardians say the house has been completely cleansed of all dark entities. The walls that once housed evil spirits now radiate peace and safety. You can feel the transformation that has taken place. The oppressive energy has been replaced by a warm, protective presence that will keep you safe. The supernatural threats that once lurked in the shadows have been banished forever. The guardian spirits have established permanent protection around your home. The house now serves as a beacon of light instead of a trap for dark forces. You have helped break a curse that lasted for many years. Type protected to maintain the spiritual blessing and keep your house safe from all supernatural harm.